Hey guys, Paloma here and welcome to the Bates house. Today we are in my craft room and we're going to be taking a look at a fun, crafty little find that I got off of Marketplace a couple, I think, days ago or maybe a week ago-ish. If you follow me on Instagram, you've already seen this adorable cutie, but if you don't, then I thought it would be a great idea to share this with you and share some information just in case you like it and you want to see how it works, or maybe find one that is similar. This is a Singer Sew Handy. It was advertised to be a child's sewing machine as well as a portable sewing machine. This is not like your kid's sewing machine today, made of plastic and pieces that just fall apart after a few uses. This is a total itty-bitty workhorse. So a little information on this machine. I found it on Marketplace. I had been seeing them for a while, but they're about maybe $100 after shipping. Wasn't about that life. And I saw one come up on Facebook Marketplace and it was $50. Now it would have been about a 3-hour drive for me going and coming because we live pretty far, and then to get through anywhere at certain times, it's like a lot of traffic. But the hubby actually worked not too far from this place. It was easier for him to get there from work. So he went one day after work to pick it up for me, and he was like, wow, this thing is a lot smaller than I thought. And I was like, I know. That's why I wanted it, because I wanted it to be a desktop crafty tool. So let's just open up the box and check it out. Now, this specific machine had one owner before me. This was her machine when she was a little girl. How exciting is that? So it's in its original box, and it comes with its instructions. The instruction manual is all image and organized by dots to show you the order of the steps. There are no words. It's super simple, self-explanatory, and the book has a date of 1955 in it. This machine is the Singer 20. And guys, it is absolutely adorable. Now the machine also comes with a clamp, and apparently it's kind of hard to get the original clamp to the machine when you find one of these. This was a piece that the lady actually made when she was a little girl, so I thought that was cool. We're gonna keep that. Now I kind of wanted to give you a size comparison so that a lot of you crafty people could kind of get an understanding. On my Instagram, I showed you that it was about 6.5 inches tall with all of these, little points and mechanisms and whatnot. But I kind of wanted you to get an idea comparing it next to the Tim Holtz Sidekick. It is very small, like this machine, just a little bit bigger in height. It's about the same width. And I thought this was just absolutely fantastic. So here's a look at the front of the machine. Oh, my key fell. Here's a look at the front of the machine. You have your Singer manufacturing plaque, which is also metal. And then you have your stamp here that says Made in Great Britain. The entire machine is metal, with the exception of this little felt padding. The back of the machine, or the side, you have your handle with a little arrow to guide you in the direction in which you're supposed to spin your handle, because it is a manual hand operated machine. Along the top, you have your numbered metal thread feeding parts. So it orders them in numbers 1 through 6. If you look back there, there's a number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then you have your felt padding where your thread would sit. And then this here is for your foot pedal. So on this side of the machine, you can see you have the lever for your foot, and then you have your needle where you feed your thread to stitch. And then you have your kind of base plate, and then you have this little guide that you can adjust. You just twist this and it'll loosen or tighten, and then you can adjust this further, or you could just take it off if you want to have a blank plate. I find this to be very helpful when I need one hand to hold the machine down. I'm trying to come up with a solution to be able to use this on camera. So I'm trying to make a little platform or something that can kind of weight it down so I could possibly use both hands instead of one while holding it. Because you do need an edge to clamp your machine down. And I don't have an edge right here, so I can't do that and still be in frame. Under the machine, we have the hardware that creates your chain stitch. This machine is a single thread sewing machine, which is perfect for someone who is a newbie at sewing like me. But I am in the process of learning all things antique sewing machine related. I finally have my antique sewing machine. We are going to 100% deconstruct it, clean it, oil it, all of that good stuff, because I want to know what every little mechanism does in that machine. So if there's ever an issue, I can identify it. So this machine is a single thread, and it creates a chain stitch where it kind of loops around itself to create the shape of a chain, holding the thread together with one thread. And when you turn this, you'll see that mechanism spin, and that claw is what creates that loop. And then this here creates your stitch line the way you want it. So you can have a longer stitch or a more tight short stitch by moving this arm. And that is pretty much it as far as the machine is concerned. Now here we have the clamp. The clamp is original to this machine. It is the same color and everything. I'm so happy that it had all of its bits and pieces. I asked her specifically, and that's when she told me, yes, it has everything because it was my machine, so it's been well taken care of. That makes me very happy. When you look at this machine, I fell in love because I feel like it gives me total Tim Holtz vibes. I love the look. I love that taupey color. I just absolutely love all the things about this machine. And I did stick my key back here with just a glue dot. So if in the case I do need it, I have it. Okay, so that is it. Now we're going to get some thread and test this baby out. I have a few pieces of paper here because in my craft room, I want to be able to use it for junk journaling and stitching onto my papers and fabrics and whatnots for my covers and just for decorating all together. So we're gonna line up number 1 and 2. Let me move all this. So we're gonna line up numbers 1 and 2 and thread it through. Then we're going to take it under or through and under number 3. There we go, that's better. And then once you have it through and under number 3, we have number 4, which we are going to put it over number 4, thread it through number 5, and then up and through number 6. Now, something important to know is that this mechanism right here, when you turn your machine, there's a lever that lifts up this little tiny bar underneath this arm. You see, you're lifting. Now what it does is it allows the thread to pull and hold in place. Now the reason you need it to be able to hold in place once that lever goes down is because in the chain stitch, it needs to pull firm, and it can't do that if it's constantly loose. So you need resistance in your thread with every spin to create that tight chain. So if you have a loose, funky chain stitch, that's probably why. It's a good place to start. So now we have them threaded through 1, 2, 3, over 4, through 5 and 6. And now we take it down and thread it through our needle. And I should have probably gotten my little threader. And you want to make sure that your point is pointy when you put it through, and then the back is more wide to fit that thread through. So it's through now, and I'll see if I can show you. It's through the needle hole, and we're going to put the thread through the wide part. Once you have it through the wide part, you just pull it through your needle. You see that? Whoop. Now we have our tail. So if you feel like you've got too much thread through there, you can just tighten it and pull it back through. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a single piece of craft paper, and I'm gonna do this in layers. So the first one that we're gonna work with is decorative craft paper, not necessarily heavy cardstock. It's just craft paper from the decorative books that you can find at Hobby Lobby or Michael's or anything like that. And we're gonna stitch through. So what you do is make sure that your needle is up and you lift your foot. When you lift your foot up, you'll notice that under there are your teeth, and those teeth are going to grip your paper and feed it through on its own. You don't have to push it through. You're just guiding. So you feed it here. When you turn your wheel, it will automatically lift and drop, lift and drop. So it's scooting the paper out. So we're gonna put this under our foot, drop your foot. You're going to put the needle down into your material, which is now it's in the paper. And it's started the first stitch. Hopefully this doesn't mess it up showing you like this. It's starting that first stitch in the loop. When you have your needle in and you started your first stitch, go ahead and move your tail back so that way it doesn't stitch into itself and get jammed, and then continue with your stitching. You'll see the paper start to feed through with the threaded line, and you'll see that I am not using my hand to guide it. I'm using the metal piece that is in place as a guide. And as you see me going slow, I'm gonna go a little bit faster. Now I'm gonna go faster. Okay, I'm at the edge of my paper. Now I'm just gonna overstitch a few and then loosen up this thread, lift my foot. Now, when you cut your string, you want to cut it from under the machine in this long strip that we have here. And there you go. That extra little bit left me a tail that I could tighten. And you'll see as you go slow, you're allowing that tension to form to pull your chain nice and tight. As you go faster, you're moving faster, so it's a more loose stitch. You can see it progress in looseness all the way to the end. I don't care, really, because that is going to be on the back side when I'm journaling or creating junk journals. It's paper, so we glue it down, we layer on top of it. You really don't see that because it's not necessarily a piece of clothing that we're going to be wearing. So I don't care a lot of the time, so I would go faster rather than slower. So that is one single piece. Now let's take another piece and fold it over itself to get 2 layers to see how it stitches through 2 layers. Put our foot down, needle up, pull out our thread, make sure we have a tail, make sure there's nothing down here stuck. Then we're going to stick our 2 pieces in. Start that first stitch. Move this tail to the back so it doesn't stitch through itself and ruin your feed. If it does that, we can address that when we come to it. It's definitely harder to puncture, but it's not like hard. It's just noticeable. But you can still get a nice rhythm, so I'll go a little bit faster. Okay, so I left my needle a little bit down, my wheel a little bit down to get that long strip. I'm gonna cut it, lift my foot, lift my needle, and release. And that's through 2 pieces. You can see when I started to go slower, it started to get tighter. But it looks really cute, especially for junk journaling. I mean, how not? So 2 pieces is definitely doable. Now let's do a triple fold. So we'll be going through 3 pieces. So again, we need to lift our foot to get our string out of there. Make sure our needle is up. We need a nice tail to hold on to. Start our stitch. Go down or drop the foot, start the stitch, lift that tail and bring it around. And going through 3 pieces, I feel is pretty similar to going through 2 pieces. Let's see if holding it like this maybe helps. It's really awkward to have to hold it down. I have a clamp and it would be so much nicer, but I can't. I can't do it and be on frame. There we go. Through 3 sheets without a problem. Like, that was not a problem. And how often are you going to go much thicker than that, right? Like, oh my goodness. Cool. All right. Shall I try for number 4? All right. So we did 3 layers. I'm going to do 4 layers, but I'm going to do it fairly small because I don't want to risk. I mean, if I break the needle, it's fine. I have more needles, but still, I don't want to do that. I feel like I want to clamp this one down because it's a lot harder to push through, so it's getting a lot harder to hold it stable. So I'm going to put it on the clamp and then I'll come back with you. I think when I moved it, I might have caused it to kind of knot itself, so it ripped the thread towards the end, but still, it stitched through 4 pieces of decorative cardstock with no problem. I think that is awesome. I would definitely suggest, if you do thicker pieces, to have it secured on the table because it makes it 10 times easier. But the threading here, you can see, is a lot more loose. But again, who cares if you're going to be gluing it down or adding something onto the other side or whatever. We're just trying to see if it can go through 4 pieces because in junk journals, we stitch through paper and stuff like that. And I think it was just fine. I would rather have it secure than try to hold it down with my hand because it was not as easy as just using the clamp and making your job a lot easier. One of the things that I did learn while using it is make sure that whenever you put that first stitch in and you move your tail, make sure you're moving it all the way back so that it doesn't kick forward and that needle go right through it. Because anytime the needle goes right through it, it's not going to move like it's supposed to, and it's going to go through that and it's just going to tighten and rip the hole, and it's not going to go anywhere. It's just going to keep cycling right there and jam up, and you're going to have to cut that thread off. So there's no reason to not pay attention when putting the little tail to the back, because it would just make your life a lot less stressful if you don't puncture your thread. Okay guys, so that is pretty much it for this video. I thought this would be helpful if you decided to go ahead and find something similar. Maybe if you saw it on my Instagram or something, or if you just came across one and thought, OMG, this is so cute. Can I use this? Yes, you absolutely can. This is a very well-made, durable, high quality tool that you can have for your everyday use in your space. It does not take up a lot of space. It is no bigger than your everyday craft tool that is actually advertised to be compact. So it's definitely something that you can have in your craft room or move it around in your space and not have to worry about giving too much real estate to it. Are they worth the money that you'll find them for on eBay or something like that after shipping? Absolutely. I suggest you save up for it if you want something like this for your craft space, because it's an investment into an authentic, vintage, really nice piece, and I would say go for it. Well, if you found this video helpful, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. It's a free way to help support the channel. Comment down below and let me know what you think about this little cutie. Or let us know what's your favorite tool in your craft space that you don't think that you want to live without. If you have anyone that's into junk journaling or sewing or anything like that, go ahead and share this video with them so that they can find some helpful information or just have someone keep them company while working on projects. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Also hit the notification bell on your way out to be notified of new videos whenever I post. You can follow me on my social media on Instagram at The Bates House, hashtag Bates House pretty much anything, and we will be there. For now, guys, that's it for this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!